Everybody ready? All right. All right, we had a really good win last Saturday night. I thought the team, did all the things we asked them to do over the course of the game, with playing, for 4 quarters, weathering the storm with some ups and downs, playing the next play. Showed grit and toughness throughout the game. We're able to finish the game the way we wanted to. So, really happy for the kids and for the staff. They were able to get the result that they wanted, and the outcome of the game was the way they wanted it. So, I'm happy for those guys. Really excited for them. Players of the week from the game: offensively, Haynes King, Jamal Haynes; defensively, Zeke Biggers and Kyle Eford, who was also the ACC linebacker of the week; and then special teams was Paul Moala. I always say that Moala. All right, so had an impact on teams, and was able to force a big fumble there at the beginning of the second half. Along with that, on Sunday night, we voted for permanent team captains, and I think it was 12 guys received 20 or more votes on the team, which was outstanding to see. All classifications, from redshirt freshmen to sophomores to seniors, obviously. The 4 guys that were named permanent team captains for the 2023 Georgia Tech football team were offensive lineman Joe Fusel, defensive back Jalen King, tight end Dylan Leonard, and quarterback Haynes King. So really excited for those guys. Was able to call them in one-on-one yesterday, and from one team captain to another, that's a pretty cool moment. Really is. So then I announced it to the team right after practice today. So happy for those guys, but also happy for the leadership that's continuing to be built on this entire football team. And excited to see that throughout the week this week, and we're going to meet on Saturday. So big game coming up this weekend, and yeah, it's a big game. All right, it's not just the next game; it's the next game on the schedule, but it's a big game. It's our in-state rival. It's a chance to play for a state championship. It's a chance to have bragging rights for a year. It's all of those things. It's kids that have played against each other growing up, and that's what makes rivalries great. That's what makes in-state rivalries great. So we're all excited to continue our preparation this week and ready to play on Saturday night. With that, have any questions?
Questions?
I know you talk about one game at a time and all of that, and you guys have achieved one of your goals, going to a bowl game. Does it take some of the pressure off, maybe playing in this game? Now you guys can play a little more loose and just focus on it. I know as much as you preach that, surely it was in the back of the kids' minds, hey, we need to win to go bowling, to do this, to do that. But can you just play fast and loose now against the number 1 team?
I hope the pressure never is off of me. I hope they never take the pressure off of themselves. Some people say pressure busts a pipe. I mean, it also makes diamonds, and you grow under pressure. You thrive under pressure. I mean, these kids are Georgia Tech students, we're Georgia Tech graduates. All right, that's the world we live in. That's what we love.
You started 3 linebackers against Syracuse. How did that scheme work for you, and do you maybe take some of that with you against Georgia, a team that also is pretty strong with the run game?
Yeah, but it's personnel driven. It's all personnel driven. It has to do with how many receivers are on the field versus tight ends, fullbacks type players. I mean, if you were to play 3 linebackers on the field with 11 personnel and 3 receivers, you basically condense yourself down to 1, maybe 2 coverages that you can play. So, we would not do that. It's all personnel driven. Each team has a new game plan and a new scheme that goes with it. But I thought they did have some success, and I thought it allowed us to be able to play faster and allow those guys. We had 3, 4, 5 guys making tackles.
You were part of this rivalry as a player during good times. I think you beat him 3 times. Is that correct? Yeah. Could you just talk about how important that was to you as a player at that time, and to be part of that then?
Yeah, it's huge. It's tremendous. The feeling of winning that game, receiving the governor's trophy, to be able to. I mean, I've got one in my office now, and I want guys to see that. I want them to know what that is. Right? I want them to understand the importance of this game. It's not just another game. Right? When you come to the season, there's two goals. Right? There's a goal to go to the bowl game, right? And there's a goal to beat Georgia. And we don't come out and openly talk about what goals are. That's why last week I began to talk about a bowl game, because that was time to talk about it. Well, this week it's time to talk about another goal, and that's beating Georgia. Is your goal to win every game? Yeah, it's to win every football game. But our true team goals are to go to a bowl game and to beat Georgia. I said it in my opening press conference a year ago. I said we'll work every day to beat the team on the other side of the state, and that's what we're doing. That's what we've done, is it's work every day with that.
Along those lines, does it bother you as an alum what's kind of happened to the rivalry here in recent years? And then how do you sell to your players? You know, they're not just good over there. They're bigger. They've got more money, more assets, whatever. How do you sell to them that you can win this game? So first, the part about your thoughts about what's happened to it, and then how you sell the possibility of victory.
So to answer your first question, you're damn right it does. Yeah, it does. Right? Rivalries aren't one-sided. Rivalries are games that are able to play competitive games between two teams. That's what makes rivalries great. Right? This is hands down one of the greatest rivalries in the country. Right? Well, in order for that to be the case, outside of our scope, right, it needs to be competitive. Oh, well, that's on us. That's on us at Georgia Tech. That's on us to be able to go out there and compete, right, for 4 quarters in the football game. So as far as selling it to the team, we had another opportunity to play a game against our rival. Right? If you got to do that, you got ice water running through your veins.
Everybody knows Georgia's a great football team, obviously, but do you get the feeling your kids feel that they can beat Georgia, that they're not invincible?
Yeah, I mean, success comes from believing you can have success. Individual success comes from believing you're going to play a good football game. Collective team success comes from believing you're going to win that football game. You can say all the politically correct things in the world and that you want to say and not trip over yourself. But look, at the end of the day, you go to win football games. You play football games to win football games. All right. Well, now, when you believe you're going to win a football game, yeah, you have more success. You play well. Right? When you don't believe in that, right, you don't play well. That's individually and collectively.
With this game, how much are you able to lean on Buster just with his connection to Kirby and the staff?
0. 0. We got every game on tape from they've played this year, every game they've played last year. Right? I mean, that is not something that really takes place. I mean, they've got good coaches. They have good players. All right? We have good coaches. We have good players. Right? We're going to put a game plan together. All right? They're going to put a game plan together. Right? You game plan off of film. Everyone thinks those things happen. They really don't.
How valuable has Donte Block been to you guys this year?
Yeah, it has been. I think we brought in 4 transfer receivers last year, because we knew offensively that we had to increase our production and become more explosive. We had to become a more explosive offense. And the quickest way to do that in college football is to have receivers that can spread the field horizontally and vertically, right? And then have a trigger man that can get the ball to him. So, and then his added value in the punt return game, which will be a big challenge for us this week. So it's been, really, it's been great to have him. All right, but look, Dom's a great kid too. I mean, he's a guy that comes in and doesn't say anything. Doesn't say it if he had a mouthful of it, and just goes to work. And to see what he's overcome in his career and be able to have some success now that he's having, I'm really happy for him.
I know you don't like talking about the past, but last year you guys had some success playing them in a game as a big underdog, and maybe a dropped pass away from going up 2 scores. Do you talk about, like, hey, we've shown that we can do this, or you don't even get into that?
I hadn't yet. I don't know if I will. I'll talk about a lot of things this week. Putting one log on the fire at a time.
Coach, going back to the question about belief, how do you get the guys to believe it when they've never beaten Georgia and they've only, seen it happen a few times, even in their lifetime?
There's a first time in everything in your life, right? But guess what? I've beat them. I know is. And I'm the head coach. Right? They're going to believe as I believe.
Beginning of the year, you talking about your offensive line. You're looking for toughness, physicality, that type of thing. And then I believe yesterday Coach Smart talked about when he looked at your offensive line, he saw them as a physical, tough type of group. What is your assessment so far with the line?
Well, I appreciate Kirby giving that compliment. That has zero bearing on the outcome of this football game, but we've still got a long way to go up front. We've got a big challenge in front of us this weekend. I'm proud of the guys and the way they've come around this year, the way they're playing together. I'm proud of the fact that what most great offensive lines that I've ever been around and had the pleasure to coach. Look, no one's going to be perfect for an entire season or an entire game, and they're going to have ebbs and flows within the game, right, just like we have. And these guys have been able to withstand those things, come back and play consistently, whether it be overcoming a bad game or overcoming a bad series, and then be able to finish games in the fourth quarter, which I've been proud of.
Defensively, how do you go about containing a guy like Brock Bowers?
I'm usually pretty quick-witted. I'm not on that one. Put 3 guys on him. I don't know. I mean, put one person on him and cross your fingers and hope things don't happen. If you live in hope, you die in a whole pile of something else. All right, so we'll put a game plan together. They've got a lot of explosive players on their offense. They've got a quarterback that's doing a heck of a job this season, playing really good football, probably as good as anybody in the country right now. They generate explosives with a lot of different players. He's not just the only one. I think they have 40-plus explosive plays over 20 yards this year, 48 if I'm not mistaken, in the passing game. So they've got 2 running backs that are very efficient, good running backs that can take it the distance at any time. They're able to get in condensed sets and be able to play bully ball and able to spread you out and go different different motions and unbalanced. And they've got a really good play action game. So to key in on just particularly one person, you're really going to leave yourself open all over. So it'll be a big challenge for us on defense this week.
Do you do anything special for this game in terms of the fire and brimstone speeches? It's in your blood that this is a rivalry, and to try to maybe illustrate this to the kids, like how
I'm usually pretty calm pregame and halftime. Look, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be who I am. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I'm very comfortable in the way I motivate these guys and get these guys to play. Every game's a different game. Just like I said when we started out, this is a different game than the other ones.
You had a pretty famous Tech alum out there today. Did he offer any tips for any of your players? And also, did you have him address the team at all relative to this?
He just came out there to watch practice. I want guys that played here to be comfortable to come out here and be a part of this family. There's no addressing the team and making a production out of it. It's wants to come watch practice, come watch practice. I think he might have grabbed the receivers afterwards and gave them a little bit of advice on a couple of things technique-wise or whatnot. But other than that, no. Great to have him here, great to have him. Feel like he can come in and just come out and hang out and watch practice.
Anything else? Okay, I think we're set.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go Jackets.
David. David, can we
How are y'all?